In today's lesson, I'm going to show you how you can spray on your top coat or finish. Now, typically when I build my furniture, I use some kind of brush-on application. So I'm not really the guy qualified to teach today's lesson. But fear not, fellow woodshop Chopperoos, for I have found someone by the name of Brian Vermillion. Brian happens to be the owner of B&B Finishing, and he's agreed for our crew to come down to his place, and he will do a demonstration for us on how he sprays his finish. So come on. Hey, Stanton from Woodchopping Time. Nice to meet you, Brian.
Nice to meet you. I've heard of you. Aren't you that wood chopper fellow?
The big Chopperoo. Hey, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, to help us and show our fellow wood choppers on how to do a spray-on finish.
Sure, I'm glad to do it.
But I've always brushed on my top coat in the past, and well, could you tell me the advantage of doing a spray-on finish?
Sure. Spray-on finish, it's very smooth.
Smooth.
But it's also very expensive on the equipment end. Now, brushing, it's not very expensive, but yet a brush will leave brush marks.
Well, for equipment, aren't we just going to be using this?
No, we will not be using this. We will be using a spray gun, such as this one right here.
Wow! Tell me more!
Okay, here we have a variety of spray guns. And these spray guns go from cheap to semi-expensive. This was one of my first spray guns I ever started out with. And I probably bought this spray gun here for about $30. This gun was really good for one time, and then it was garbage. So I went and I bought my next gun, which was this gun here, and this one was worth probably about $40. And I got about 4 sprays out of that one. Now, this little gun I use just for touch-ups. Per person brings in a piece of furniture, it's got a nick in it. This is what I use to touch it up with. This gun here is the next one I purchased, which is a gravity-fed gun. Works extremely well. And this gun here cost me about $100. And then I stepped up again and I went to this gun. And this gun here runs about $200 and some. But I've had this gun for 3 years now. It's completely rebuildable, very good gun. Now, of course, the one thing to remember with all these different spray guns here is you get what you pay for. The better the gun, the better the finish, the longer it will last.
Wow! These look like ray guns! Freeze, sucker! Now, Brian, if you don't mind telling me, I'm sure a lot of our fellow wood chopperoos out there probably just go to the store and, they're told to buy polyurethane or wipe on poly. What's the advantage of having you spray this?
You can spray anything in this gun. It's a matter of how thin it is. And you can spray it in a gun. But a polyurethane is not as durable as a lacquer. And I myself spray Catalyzed Lacquer because I feel that's the most durable and long-lasting finish that you can get. The polyurethane just wipe on. You don't get the atomizing of spraying in the gun. You don't get the adhesion when you wipe it on. Chad, Chopperoo.
Can you play the banjo?
Oh my God.
I like banjo music. Alright, Brian, well, let's get to it.
Okay, Chad. First step, applying the stain to the piece of wood. But you've already applied the stain, so therefore we can move past that step. But the next step is to apply a sealer. So we will apply the sealer, we'll let it dry, we'll give it a couple coats, and then we're going to go to the Catalyzed Lacquer. But before we can apply any of these products, we need shop safety.
Shop safety? Well, let's go to Safety Dan.
Hey, always make sure you wear your hearing protection and safety glasses.
Well, Chad, that was good advice, but in this shop, we don't wear earmuffs. And some people like to use the safety glasses. I personally don't when I'm spraying. But what we do need is a very good mask.
A mask? Oh, cool! I'll be Batman. I'm Batman. You could be like the Lone Ranger. Yeah. Hi-ho, Silver, and away!
Barb. First, we need to prep the surface of the wood. Since you already have it stained, we need to get ourselves a nice cotton cloth, one that will not leave any lint on it when we wipe it down. We're going to take the rag and we're going to wipe off all dust particles that landed on this while it's been sitting in our shop. Do it a couple times, fold the rag over. I myself like to do this 3 times to ensure that I have all the dust off. After the wiping is done, be sure that nobody touches this and leaves any oils on it from their hands, because that will affect your outcome. The next step process is going to be spraying on the sealer. When you spray on the sealer, you're going to want to start spraying the sealer out into the air, bring it over the wood. You will see a wet section, and then you will see a like spotty section, which is called the overspray section. You want to make your first pass, keep it all nice and wet, then you're going to come up, you're going to finish spraying into the air on this end. You're going to move your gun up, you're going to spray now into what I call the overspray section, getting that wet, having another overspray section. It's important that you keep your distance from the wood to the gun the same. It should be about 6 to 8 inches. Nice steady pace, you want a nice flow on the product. Come out, you're going to finish off like this. You're going to do that across this whole piece. Key things, do not let the bottom of your gun rub on the finish from your arm getting tired and not holding it up. Okay, there we have our first coat. Well, now let this first coat set up. Okay, now that we've applied our sealer coat, and I've applied 2 coats, then we went over it with this ultra fine Scotch-Brite pad, and that was when you first apply your sealer coat, it will draw the grain of the wood up, which will make it a little bumpy. So therefore we put 2 coats on, and then we go over it with the ultra fine Scotch-Brite pad, and it knocks down all that raised grain to where it's a smooth finish. Once we've done that, which we've already completed, then we're going to go ahead and put on our Catalyzed Lacquer. I've already put the Catalyzed Lacquer in the gun, so I'm going to go ahead and spray on the Catalyzed Lacquer. Okay, with that we've sprayed our top coat of Catalyzed Lacquer. Now keep in mind we've sprayed 2 base coats and 1 coat Catalyzed Lacquer with a 10-minute wait in between each recoat. Now, since this is a tabletop, we want a little extra durability, so I'm going to spray an extra coat of Catalyzed Lacquer on it. Now that that's dry, we're going to take our ultrafine Scotch-Brite pad, and we're going to knock down any grain that has raised or any dirt that has settled in the finish before we put on our last coat of Catalyzed Lacquer.
Captain Space Rayman! Captain Space Rayman!
Okay, we sprayed our last coat. It is now dry, and this piece is now ready to be shipped out of the shop.
You know, Brian,
What?
I gotta say, this piece looks beautiful.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you like it.
And if you would like to see what this finished piece looks like, go to StantonFineFurniture.com. Click on the galleries, and then click on tables. You'll find it there. And that brings me to my favorite part of the day. I like to dance.
That's it. All you people, get your stuff up and get out of here. I said get out of my
Wood shop and turn